which is basically our first speaker. So the first speaker sessions is gonna be presented by Google. They will tell us their sustainability story and tell us why sustainability matters. They will share with us their vision, the various solutions that they are having, as well as share with us some case studies that they have. So without further ado, let me introduce our speakers. Firstly, we have Nikita Mo, industry lead retail and conglomerate at Google Cloud. So Nikita has over 10 years of experience working with different companies to drive digital transformation. Also, we have Thomas Chen. Thomas is the head of AI and machine learning at Google Cloud. He is very passionate about coding and hacking. He also has great experience working with large companies to shape their data and AI journey. So without further ado, let me welcome Nikita to the stage. Nikita, please.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you. Good afternoon, Jardine and Head Asia. My name is Nikita Mo. I am the industry lead for retail and conglomerate at Google Cloud Hong Kong. It's a great pleasure to be here today to share Alphabet and Google Cloud's sustainability story. We'll start with share with you why sustainability matters. And then we'll share with you the Alphabet's and Google's sustainability story, followed by our secret recipe. So why should I care about sustainability? I want all of us to have a thought about that. So today, we are at a pivotal decade in the fight against climate change. We only have one planet, and we only have 10 years left to make a change, to make this world a better place. Or otherwise, we'll face very serious consequences of the climate change. And the time is now, is today, that every single one of us, you and me, and every organization on this planet, to make a change, an immediate change, to take immediate action at global scale to make this world a better place for every one of us. I wanted to call Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google and Alphabet. We are optimistic that by harnessing new technologies, investing in the right infrastructure and tools, and empowering partners, nonprofits, people, this can be the most decisive for climate action yet. It is very powerful and very doable if you and me, every single of us, work together to achieve that goal. So now I would like to share with you a bit more of the Alphabet's sustainability story. Let's play a video. hope you all enjoyed the video, and let's go back to our story. So Google Cloud is one of the greenest company in the planet, ahead of the industry. So we actually, on a global and annual basis, match 100% of the electricity usage with renewable energy. And if you think about from another angle, sustainability is actually a data challenge. Let's have a look why. As an example, Google Cloud actually used fully automated machine learning control to improve the plant efficiency for up to 30%. And I believe a lot of you have used Google Map, which help you to get to where you want to by showing you the shortest path. Or if there's any traffic congestion, it will also show you so that you can avoid the traffic. And only with that, actually, it saves a lot of carbon emission. And here it is another example of Google Earth Engine, which is contributing to the sustainability initiative. It's collecting a lot of geospatial data, large amount of data set to share with different organizations to show them in the course of time how this planet, the surface of our planet is changing, for example. How is the water level, the amount of forest, for example, and even it can spot wildfire in a forest and send a signal alert to the authority to tackle the issue. And if we talk about sustainability, ESG is another very important topic that we all need to pay more attention to. That is not only to tackle climate crisis, but how to create a better community for people around us, especially people in minority. Think about equality, diversity, inclusion, and even make this planet a better place for animals. So Google Cloud actually apply a lot of AI to tackle world's biggest challenges. Flooding. Flooding is one of the most common disasters in the world. And by applying AI machine learning to analyze the geographical and environmental data, Google Cloud is able to predict flooding in a highly accurate way, and so that people can prepare beforehand. With Google Cloud's AI, it also helps people with atypical speech to be better understood by other people. Open Data Repository or Open Data Platform is another very important initiative that Google is driving. That is by sharing big data set with organizations globally to help push the innovation, accelerate the funding. So COVID-19 is a very good example that people, organizations globally can share what's their funding to help accelerating finding the solution to tackle the problem. So data is in the core of greening by IT. What does that mean? Thomas, my colleague, will share with you in a second. But I want to provide an overview, give you some idea of what we can do with big data, AI, machine learning. For example, we can do a better demand forecasting that help you to reduce wastage of water, food, or plastics, or create a more transparent supply chain to reduce the carbon emission as an example. And last but not least, also create circular economy, which Thomas will tell you a bit more as well. So with that, I would like to invite our next speaker, Thomas, to the stage.
Oh, thank you, Nikita.
Thank you, Thomas.
Okay. So, hi everyone, I'm Thomas, and then I'm going to talk about the Google secret recipe about how to achieve sustainability, right? So the Google Cloud mission is really to accelerate the organization ability to really digitally transform their business operation with pretty much like the best technology from Google. And the Google recipe is really simple. There's just only two things in there, right? It's just greening of IT and greening by IT. And what that really means that we can just go deep dive. In a nutshell, these are the four things that representing greening of IT and greening by IT. So it starts with like the powerhouse of data center, which is fuel and run your innovation and application there. Then we will talk about like the energy actually powering those data center, right? And also the hardware that actually running in those data center for your application, your innovation. Apart from that, we also have like Google's AI and data technology really help you to drive innovation forward with greening by IT. So let's deep dive. So in Google's data center, we completely really designed the data center from ground up, right? Apart from like we design our own server to be more highly efficient, right? We even design our own AI chip to make it even more power efficient by running powerful, intensive AI computation. And the energy that we run in the Google data center is pretty much using, by 2030, will be carbon-free energy 24/7. So what does that mean, right? So basically it means that any workload you run on Google Cloud by 2030, every hour, every day, every region, they will be carbon-free energy. And then the way that we design the hardware to run your application, right? We specifically design the waste and pollution out of it, right? And we make sure the part and also the product will keep reused and recycled over the time to make sure it has less environmental impact. Apart from that, we also make sure in the whole process of making those hardware and things that it's actually safe to the people as well as it's safe to the environment. So it talks a lot, right? But what that really means, right? In a very simple nutshell, this slide summarizes everything. But it's still a lot of things. It could be still daunting, right? So in that, it's just like run your application on the cloud, like Google. You are really able to achieve the greening by IT easily. And using our AI and data technology, you can use it to achieve the greening by IT easily. And ultimately, you will be able to achieve zero net emission for your organization. As simple as this, National Geographic moved their photo library to Google Cloud. By doing these simple things, they are already able to achieve over a nearly 17,000 kilogram CO2 emission every year, right? This is astonishing for just a simple things. So let's look into more, like how the data-driven innovation. So in a nutshell, these are the 5 technology Google actually really rebuilt in a way that, like, or designed from ground up that it's actually environmental friendly, as well as like it's also carbon friendly when they do the computation, right? We have the whole notion about serverless, and I can talk hours on this topic, right? But let's not focus on that part today, right? That's what we do in the mentoring session, so you can always come to our specialists. We will be able to share that with you. Right? So what other people do with the Google's technology, right? So look at Carrefour, right? They use a BigQuery to analyze data. Well, so basically, it's a tool in Google that we use it for everything on the data side. But surprisingly is that like it's not able to just query and understand the data, right? It also actually built in the AI component inside it, right? So people with a normal data analyst, they were able to run the query and get the AI assist insight with the demand forecast. So that would help them efficiently to reduce the inventory waste. And this is also one example that you can achieve more in Google Cloud with a lot less effort. And the Ascena case that they use Google BigQuery and Google Cloud SQL to actually manage their fleet in real time. So that really helped them to really decarbonize their transportation sector. And on the agriculture side, right, the Gamaya actually used Google Cloud to really derive the data-driven insight for the farmers. And you're probably wondering, like, oh, it's just farming, like how much data they can really collect and they can really do with it, right? It will surprise you, actually. For example, say there will be like pH value on the soil, and also there will be like the weather forecast, the moisture, and all those things, right? It's actually very complicated when it comes to like the computation, collecting, blah, 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 right? But in that is that we make it easy for the farmer, that they're able to actually boost their yield, avoid blight, and able to cultivate their crops more efficiently with the Google Cloud data and AI technology. And let's look at the energy and utility area, right? With E.ON, right? They actually use Google Cloud data analytics, so they were able to have like real-time energy consumption. So you're still probably wondering like, oh, what that really means, right? So you can imagine in Hong Kong, like it's very hot in the summer, and we usually turn on the aircon, and then the energy will surge during the noontime because that's probably the hottest day of the hottest time of the day, right? But if you look up, the sun is above us, and that's probably the most shiniest time, right? And we actually can switch to the to the solar energy and reduce our carbon footprint. So all those decisions require real-time consumption, and AI forecasting really help us to make really informed decision, right? Just using Google Cloud technology, you can easily achieve that. It's only like a SQL statement away, as simple as that, right? So this one is my favorite, actually. So it's not only using Google's technology to achieve the organization operation efficiency, right? So the things with Google is that we are not only giving you the best technology in the market, we actually also enable you to use the Google culture to actually do things, right? So you can always achieve more with a lot less effort. So in this case, right, they actually use BigQuery to manage their user, and they were able to scale to 1.4 million users with very minimum operation management. So this is simply amazing. So we only get one planet, right? Let's use Google's technology to really achieve a more sustainable future and net zero emission together with Jardine and with your innovation together. Thank you. And now we will welcome Nikita back to the stage, then we can have some Q&A session.
Thank you, Thomas. I hope you all enjoy the session. And we wonder if there's anyone have any question.
Hi there. Thank you very much. We have a question from the chat from Jessie. She's a student, and she wants to play with the Google Cloud technology. Are students able to access this for free?
Yeah, Nikita, you want to?
Yes, there are different ways we can support you. First of all, do join Hack Asia. And if you are interested, you can also easily create an account. That would be like $300 credit to help you start and try out the technology. We also have a lot of resources online that is free for the public, including students, to learn and try out the technology, including labs. Last but not least, I would like to invite you tomorrow at 3 p.m. to join our training session that we conducted by the experts from Google Cloud to share with you some tips how to use our technology. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's one more question from the floor here from some of us on the team. If a greening of the IT is physical, how can I achieve greening of IT at the design level?
So this is actually a good question. Maybe I take it. It's more a geeky answer, right? The things is that like being sustainable by using technology that Google provide is just not enough, right? Simply not enough. You have to use it in a way that even on the design level that it's actually really benefit, that reduce the unnecessary consumption, right? So this is why Google actually have a serverless approach. However, but this is not the responsibility only on the designer level. Even on the user level, right? They have to think about sometimes they run a query, even like, for example, say using Google search, right? What are the impact they were having, right? So meaning that the way that you even design your data model, your whole architecture, we can talk about all that tomorrow session, right? So stay tuned. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you both very much. I really appreciate it. We have a small gift for you to say thank you for coming today and for participating. So this is for you, Nikita, and for you, Thomas. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks again. Thanks to our friends at Google. And over to Janice.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Nikita, as well as Thomas, for the great sharing. So we hope that this sharing really helped you guys to actually understand more about the power of technology. And actually, like the different case studies is quite interesting. Hopefully that is some inspiration for you guys when it comes to solving your challenges. So regardless of whether you are some of our businesses or whether you are students, startup and innovators, do leverage the power of technology to make a difference.